Oilers Panthers tonight at Rogers Place. The Oilers looking great. They beat Vegas Saturday afternoon. They have won 5 in a row. They're up to 18-10-2 on the season. The Panthers are 18-11-2. They have been shut out in 2 consecutive games. We'll talk to their play-by-play voice, Doug Plagens, as we move on throughout the afternoon. The Oilers try to make it 6 in a row. They are expected to go with McDavid between Nuge and Hyman, Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen, Henrique with Jeff Skinner and Janmark, and Derek Ryan with Corey Perry and Connor Brown. Both Perry and Brown scored last game. Ryan scored the game before that against Minnesota. Ekholm with Bouchard. Bouchard did not take the morning skate. Just called a maintenance day for him. Nurse with Stetcher, Kulak with Emerson. Of course, you know that Nurse and Kulak played together a lot as well. Stuart Skinner, who's on a hot streak lately, is your projected starter. Bobrovsky at the other end for the Panthers. He's 13-6-1 on the season with a 2.87 goals against average. Now, the story for Florida, besides the shutout streak, is Alexander Barkov, a game-time decision, illness, didn't play against Calgary on Saturday. They're hopeful he's going to be able to go tonight. Here's the lineup without him. Lundell with Rodriguez and Reinhardt, Bennett, Verhaeghe, and Kachuk, Jesper Boqvist with Luosterainen and Samoskevich, Greer with Nosek and Gadjevich, Forsling with Ekblad on defense, Mikula and Kulikov, and Balinskis with Nate Schmidt, and I mentioned Bobrovsky in net. It's a 6:30 game. It's on Amazon Prime. You have to go on your Amazon app and order it. No, you don't. Imagine if they sent you a little key card to watch the game, little delivery. It's on Prime Video, 6:30. So we will have our Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 5:30, and then they'll rejoin you after the game as well. So those are your quick notes on the Oilers and Panthers. A lot of storylines for the Oilers to talk about as things are going very, very well for that team lately. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. It's the Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Mr. Milne, how are you doing?
I am peachy keen, Reid.
Well, you look it.
Thank you.
You look it.
Do I?
Very, very good. We're going to tee up this game tonight. It's the first meeting between these two teams since June 24th. Little thing called Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. We want to talk a bit about one of the, I think it's an ongoing story around the NHL, the Jack Eichel hit on Matthias Ekholm, which was not penalized, which I consider one of the most absurd things I've seen in the National Hockey League this season. Maybe it'll be on my list of top 3 most absurd things from 2024, if I do one. We'll touch on some NFL storylines as well. What did you get up to over the weekend? Did you have some basketball stuff? What was going on?
Yes, we had a Christmas party, so we can talk about that. And then the following day, it was basketball. They lost the bronze medal game, did the Ardrossan Bisons. Mm-hmm. And then the following day, which would be Sunday, which would be yesterday. All 3 things can be true. It was handball day.
Oh, nice.
And they lost in the provincial semifinal.
Oh, wow. This was different children?
Same girl.
Oh, same girl.
Grace.
Oh, wow. Busy.
And there was gymnastics yesterday, too, with the youngest.
Okay.
And then this week, I think Rose starts playing basketball on Saturday.
Do you have any more Christmas concerts this week?
No, we're done. We're out.
Those were all done last week.
See you later,
those
alligator.
Were all... No more.
Don't want to see you or hear from you for a year.
You probably won't.
Good.
They don't have Easter concerts or anything like that?
They do. They have some
school
concerts.
Events, end of school presentations.
Yeah, those are cool. In, out.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but a great weekend. I mean, that Christmas party was...
Yeah, we had our staff Christmas party. It was a blast.
It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. Excellent food.
Really good food. We went to the taco shop on Bourbon.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the best Mexican I've had in recent history.
Since you spent those 2 years in Mexico.
Yes. I that's a lie. But if I did, I think this would still be better.
Yeah, it was very good. I'd never been there before, so that was a lot of fun. And then we went bowling. What's it called now in West Edmonton Mall? Because it's been Ed's, Red's, the Rec Room.
It's Ed's.
It's Ed's.
Yeah.
And wasn't it glow bowling? It seemed dark.
I think it was like black light.
Or is that
bowling.
how they always do it? Do you always bowl in the dark now?
No. It was definitely on purpose.
Okay.
Black lights. Yeah. So
So
like
what's the difference between the black light bowling and the glow bowling?
Good question. Don't know. I think glow bowling, you have like bowling balls that glow. Or pins that glow, something like that.
Something glows. This was just kind of darker
Very
and illuminated.
Yeah, and our team of 4 was myself, the Coup, Matty Iwanek. Our captain was Lieutenant Eric, and the Coob brought up the rear for our bowling team, and we lost. We lost 2 straight games to nothing to yourself, Hernan, Dusty, and YTT.
Yes.
So congrats.
You had the best individual score, though, in the first game.
I don't know. I thought Hernan got me.
Oh, did Hernan have it?
I think Hernan got
Hernan
me.
had it, and Jay was second, and then I had the best individual score in the second game, and you were like 3 pins behind.
Yeah, I think I was the most consistent bowler of the night.
You may have been.
Number 1 bowler, Matty said.
It was 10 pin. It was 10 pin, and when we first got to the 2 lanes we were using, every ball was the 7-pound ball with finger holes about the size of dimes.
Yeah.
So we had to go pilfer some larger balls from other lanes. I settled on the 11-pounder. That was good for a gentleman of my stature. You probably could talk a heavier one.
I didn't care about the weight. It was the size of the holes. As long as they fit my fingers, then I was good to go. That was excellent, though. Fun night. I love the just hanging out in the mall was kind of fun.
That's probably the most consecutive time I've spent in. I probably wind up at West Edmonton Mall, I want to say twice a year.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something specific you got to go there for, or somebody wants to meet there. I must have been there in the summer at some point.
We stayed there one weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You
for
guys
an
stayed
overnighter.
there.
Ugh.
Yeah. But
it's just too much.
It's not somewhere. I know people who live around the mall that's
their
mall.
Yeah.
You know, so of course you get used to it. You know where to go. You know how to get in and out. You know where you might want to shop. But I loved. It was a few years ago. I think it was shortly before things shut down for COVID. The Oilers didn't just do the autograph session there; they had a practice there and then the autograph session.
Oh boy!
Because remember in the '80s they used to practice there semi-regularly. Yeah. And McDavid was asked, "How often do you come to the mall?" He's like, "Well, only when I really have to. Like, I try to stay away for the most part." And I'm like, "Connor, you've become a true Edmontonian. Like, how many Edmontonians say that about the mall?" or my aunt's visiting from Ontario. I guess I got to take her to the mall. Like I got an aunt from Ontario. She always wants to go to the mall. I'm like, really? Can we not?
Yeah, no. It was nice being there after dark, so to speak. Like we left.
Yeah, there was no shopping.
There was no.
Yeah,
nothing was open. So we took some really beautiful. Some may even call them romantic pictures with the Christmas scenery of West Edmonton Mall in the background. It was delightful.
It was a great day, great evening. Box number says, did anyone use the line, "Whoever you think you are, I am"? Was that not Pete Weber in bowling?
Yeah.
Not the Predators play-by-play voice. And yes, I know it's not box number. I just like saying it that way. Panthers Pancakes, I legit cannot remember the last time I was at West Ed. I personally hate malls. Oh, hates all malls. Wow. Jasmine, our colleague, who was not able to attend the Christmas party because she had, I guess, other people more important in her life.
Maddie.
What?
Apparently there's a Whale and the Wolves playing on iHeart.
Oh, okay. We'll try to fix that.
We're on it.
Jasmine says, looks like everyone behaved and no lampshade was awarded. Did somebody win the lampshade?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was more of a figurative award anyway.
I think that was a group effort.
Mex Bezzozo says, to circle back to the hockey stuff a little bit, I cried twice in 2024. First was when these two teams last played. The second time was during Reid's little jingle story. You know what? I want to ask people that. We didn't talk about this before the game, but I think this...
Hang on, where'd you get that from?
From the Nasty Chat.
Who said that?
Mex Bezzozo. Did I say something I wasn't supposed to say?
No. I must have... Oh, okay, it's a little higher.
Yeah, I can find stuff. You can also text, by the way, 780-218-9999. If you are in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, you know what to do. Poke the thumbs up and encourage other people in your life to do the same thing. And we're going to get to the Oil Understood as we move along. We do have an off-topic topic, But I'll ask everybody this. This isn't the off-topic topic. This is just something I want to ask people. How long, if at all, did it take you to sort of get over the Game 7 loss? Now, I know a lot of Oilers fans are passionate, and they might say, Reid, you idiot, we're not going to get over it. I understand that. It's always gonna stick in your craw. Where did that phrase come from, by the way?
Stick in your craw?
Yeah. I understand it's always going to be a source of pain. But how long did it take to sort of where maybe you weren't fretting about it all day, every day? You know what I mean? Because I think I definitely know people that I would say the game was on a Monday night, remember? I would say there were people that pretty much ruined their week. You know, like they just thought about it, put them in a low place all week. You know? How long until maybe it wasn't the first thing you thought of or one of the first things you thought when you got up in the morning? Where you're like, oh, they could have won the cup. You know? Like how long did that take to sort of move on past them or start moving on from? I hope Jasmine answers this one, by the way.
You know what's kind of sad but true is I didn't really think that was ever, when they went down 3-0, the rest was just bonus to me anyways. I didn't have high expectations even when it went to Game 7.
Yeah.
To be very honest. So it wasn't shocking or alarming.
Well,
it was just the way it was supposed to be.
That is an interesting thing to note, Jay, because they were down 3-0. Every game felt like free money almost.
Yeah, the expectations were drastically
win
lower.
8-1. It's like, great, we didn't get swept.
Right. That one was for the Gipper.
Right. Game 5, by the way, of the Cup final, arguably the greatest game McDavid has ever played. I would say, given the stakes.
Sure.
And then it's like, okay, we maxed out our home games. We're getting Game 6 in Edmonton. And they win that one fairly convincingly as well. And then, I don't know. It's curious what people are. We already get some people posting in the Nazi chat.
It's too
Loomis. I turned the TV off immediately. KD, still not over it, but I was a mess for at least 2 weeks. Rip City Step says, I still think about 06 once a month, at least.
Yeah, that's...
It was interesting. Again, my experience is very unique, so I can't speak with the fans as a fan. But doing the Game 7 overtime open line show, it was generally, I'm trying to remember, most of the calls were generally sort of grateful for the experience, like disappointed, but grateful for the experience. And I remember people didn't even really want to talk about the game. You know, again, it was a 2-1 game. You know, Oilers had a few chances. Panthers had a few chances. Like, stuff happened. They got the goal. There was the one, I think, Canucks fan that called in and said something trolling about McDavid that we hung up on. Like it wasn't like I thought I'm going to be up until 2 a.m, like talking to devastated fans, and it wasn't really like that. So maybe you're right, Jay. It was certainly disappointing, but I think you make a good point. It wasn't a series of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It
wasn't a nail biter.
It was like, okay, they were down. I remember was at an Elks game. I think they had their preseason game when the series was, no, it was their second game of the year because the first game against Saskatchewan was Game 1 of the Cup final. And then the Elks had a game when they were down 3-0, and a guy came out. Like, I didn't know who he was. I think I was talking to Mark Cordy's dad, actually. And this guy just came up to me and said, so, Reid, are they done? And I said, well, it's not over till someone wins 4, but we all know how often 3-0 comebacks happen. Like, yeah. I didn't know what to say to the guy. Like, it's 3-0, right? Like, you would have been kind of foolish to pick the Oilers to win in that situation.
I wonder what the odds would have been at that point.
Well, you must have bet on it.
No. I thought they were cooked.
Well, so did I. Just mathematically speaking. Nino says, I'm still a mess over it. The Panthers players will be trash-talking them all game, win or lose. VR Montenegro says, the Oilers being down 3-0 kind of softened the blow for me. I'd already come to terms, but that glimmer of hope was a fantastic feeling. Well, that's an interesting thing. And again, a variation of what you said. Were people already in mourning?
But think of that. That was okay, this is dead, this is over. But then to come back was almost it definitely softened the blow because look, you weren't expecting them to win when they went down 3-0.
Right.
Then boom, 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 you're in a game 7. Hey, this is the house money now. Whatever happens, I'm happy. Not necessarily, but that same sentiment.
I think,
and might I add, VR Montenegro, I thank your beautiful partner, wife, lovely Ginger, for bringing in these holiday treats to the office. Round of clicks. They are delightful. They are being eaten very fast. Thank you.
I will say this. If the Oilers would have won that cup final, that's the greatest comeback in the history of hockey. And it's maybe the greatest comeback in sports history.
You'd have to do some digging on
that. I think people know I'm not prone to hyperbole. If anything, I'm one who might say, okay, settle down.
This is very outside of the realm of anything you do.
It would have been borderline unbelievable. But there have only been 4 3-0 comebacks in the history of the NHL. Okay, only one of them was in the Stanley Cup final. That was in 1942. 6-team league, wartime hockey, different circumstances, right? Like, I think if the Oilers winning the Stanley Cup final after being down 3-0, that would have been the greatest comeback in the National Hockey League, and probably, I guess in a championship game, Falcons Patriots. Sorry, Falcons fans. What was it, 28-3 halfway through the third quarter? That's a one-off versus a series, but that's something I think that is comparable.
24-3, I believe.
Was it 24? I thought it was 28-3.
28-3? 28. The coup.
So that's what was on the line for the Oilers. Like, if they win that, they're not just the Stanley Cup champion. Okay, here's the thing. We're going off on a tangent.
This is a good tangent.
It's a fun sort of what if.
This is a breathing exercise,
and that's
for
a
everyone.
Memorable series. Look,
yes.
Even the Oilers forcing Game 7 makes that one of the most memorable series. Makes it a historic series. It doesn't happen a lot.
That's right.
Most series don't go to Game 6 if it's 3-0.
Most series don't go to Game 7. Period.
Yeah, well, right.
Especially a Stanley Cup final.
Right. So now I forgot what I was going to say. But it was, if the Oilers win that, and now I'm looking from a Canadian standpoint, right? Because if the Oilers win that, the Oilers got that over every other Canadian fan base for 50 years. Two things. We broke the 31-year drought, and we were down 3-0 and won the cup. Like, even if the Leafs win like 5 of the next 10 cups, but the Oilers had won that one, it'd be like, yeah, but we broke the drought, and by the way, we were down 3-0. You know what I mean? Like,
when you put it like that, it sure seems a lot different. A few people are mentioning this. This one comes in from an unnamed texter. For me, it was after receiving my June credit card bill, checking all my spending and remembering what that was. Yeah. Jason Lynn Leduc says, in my 20s, it would have sent me to a therapist. In my 30s and early 40s, I would be slightly peckish for a couple of days. Late 40s, I was over it and asleep in 30 minutes.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing. I do think you always love your favorite team, but your emotional reaction to a loss, I think, is different. Like I've talked to you and I've said it on air about my dad. Like he says when a team is good, he enjoys it. He enjoys the victory. When they're losing or lose a big game, he's like, well, nothing I could have done about it. And he just I just enjoyed watching and they didn't win. Yeah. Like if you were a 12-year-old Reid Wilkins, obviously would not be working on the radio, he would have cried after Game 7.
My daughter's cried. My oldest cried.
But there you go.
Yeah. It's just the emotional overload of it. You don't get it at that point. Haji in the EST chat, Elliot Friedman posted on Twitter a few hours before Game 7 that it could be the biggest game in NHL history.
Yeah.
The fact that they lost did not make it so. It's true. Now you're really,
biggest game in NHL history.
Hey, why don't we just replay
Let's replay the whole game.
Doug Plagens calling the final minute of the game, Reid.
We're
why
not
don't we
going to
just
do
do
that,
this
everybody.
and open the source up again, Reid?
Matthew Kachuk's in the nasty chat. Trash talking Connor, as you might expect. 780-218-9999. If you were in the nasty chat on YouTube, remember to hit the thumb up as well and encourage others to do so. We try to get to 100 as quickly as possible and then keep going from there. All right. So we'll come back to the off-topic topic. I better do the clue because I remember I neglected it last time. I was quite negligent.
What did you neglect? What did you neglect? Do it. What was it?
What?
You do your thing.
Oh, Gruber?
Yeah.
I will not allow you to neglect the clue again, McLean. All right.
Reid, there's 153 people watching.
Just
right
everybody
now.
hit the thumbs up.
If you hit the thumbs up, this is over. We
Just
get word of
end
the
it.
day now.
We do word of the day. We all go home. Oh, no, wait. We stay till 5:30, and everybody else keep listening.
Just bing. Get it over with.
All right. Jasmine, you have to converse with everybody in the nasty chat because we're getting a lot of messages on this. So at everybody in the nasty chat, at Jasmine with your comments. Mystery Athlete of the Game is presented by Hudson's, Canada's Pub. You are invited down tonight for the Oilers game, and you can join us Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. for the late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. So I'm going to give a clue, and I will give up to 5. And this is a text line competition only for the Mystery Athlete of the Game for Hudson's Canada's Pub. 780-218-9999. Maximum 3 guesses per phone number, and Jay does count. And you're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Okay? I'm sure most people are familiar with this. If there's new people listening, you'll catch on pretty quickly. The first clue is penguins. Okay? Okay. What was the guy from, was that Ben Stein and Ferris Bueller's Days Off? Days Off? Penguins. Anyone? Penguins is the first clue. All right. You're going to hear from Knobloch and McDavid and Hyman as we roll along this afternoon. We got the Coob with the sports update.
The Coob!
It's Oilers Panthers with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 5:30 right here on EST. And there's 2 other games around the league seeing the Stars match up against the Caps and the Avs meeting the Canucks. And in the CFL, Javon Leake has re-upped with the Edmonton Elks, while down south, David Montgomery of the Lions will miss the rest of the season after needing surgery to repair his sprained MCL. And Monday Night Football sees the Falcons taking on Desmond Ridder and the Raiders, while the Vikings battle the Bears, having Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for the action. While on the court, the Raps face the Bulls with 6 games around the association. This sports update has been brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your Sports Update.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. 6:30 game at Rogers Place. It's on Prime, which has not been good for the Oilers so far this season. We'll talk about that as we move along this afternoon. And 5:30 this afternoon. We're here until 5:30, and then Tom and Hernan take over with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Okay, so the first clue for Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete was Penguins. I'll give clue number 2 by 4 at the latest.
And just remember, all you nasties just can blame yourselves for how hard this one is today. Because it's hard.
I don't think it's that hard. The first clue is Penguins.
Maddie, Reid always asks you, like, how hard on the scale? Let's say 1 to 10.
Yeah, but it's different for him because he gets all the clues in rapid succession. He doesn't have time to think about them like the listeners do.
I know, but just on the overall.
What I'll say is I don't want to say because I think if I say one way or another, it might get them off the scent.
The first clue is Penguins. That's all we need to tell. That's all we need to tell people.
Get them off the scent, eh? See, now I'm just giving.
No, you're just doing whatever you want.
Would erroneous clues be right?
The clue is Penguins. That's the only clue we have. Okay. Anyone? 780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. You're mostly talking with Jasmine there. And keep giving us the thumbs up to get us to 100. We're doing very well. Just everybody keep doing it. Tell other people to do it. We'll get there right away. You can also email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Big Uke with his daily limerick. Even when remember when he sent us a video limerick from Vegas? What a molten mound of magma. Just a mountainous magma mound.
Mountainous magma.
The Uke writes, tonight a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup. Hoping Oilers fans tonight get to lift their arms up. Kachuk, the Rat King, he got the ring, cheering for the Panthers to put in their backup. The Panthers' second goalie is Spencer Knight.
Well done.
Always good from the Big Uke. So, we were talking about, before we get to Fired Up here, and I think we'll have some interesting reaction to Fired Up. We had our Christmas party on Friday, so we're talking about our meal at the taco shop, going bowling, and then can we say where we also went?
Yeah.
We went to the casino in West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah.
Yes. And hung out.
It went well.
It did not go well for me.
Why?
Well, gambling-wise, I lost $50.
Well, I don't think if you go to a casino and you expect to come out
I want to win all the time. Gambling's not fair.
Yeah, I think I was just there for the atmosphere.
Did you go play anything?
Yeah, we hunkered down at the roulette table for a bit there. Maddie actually did pretty well. Okay. Maddie and Hernan did pretty well. I met a couple new friends.
Good.
Met a guy.
Because there was a point where I didn't see you and I didn't know where you were. Not that I needed
we were at the roulette table. Met a guy that looked exactly like Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was him.
Maybe. We became really good friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So our off-topic topic, as always, is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So, give us the craziest thing that ever happened at a staff Christmas party. I guess craziest, most memorable, what do we say? Well, we'll just say craziest. And please remember, if you're submitting something, we assume that you want it read on air. So then you must present it in a manner in which we can read it. Fair enough? Because some of these crazy things perhaps could be R-rated or even X-rated, for all we know.
I just thought from ours, I mean, just having a night out with the fellas and doing some bowling, just back to the roots, just boys just playing a game.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't know if anything super crazy happened at ours. It was just fun.
Just a fun night.
It was just a fun night.
My head hurt the next morning a little bit.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was okay.
It was a late night.
Yeah, you were there later than I was, I think.
I don't know. I left at 1.
Well, okay, I was probably home by 1. So you didn't stay much later than me. Okay, so that's not that much different. 780-218-9999, Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and into the nasty chat on YouTube.
Stick in your craw is actually an idiom. This idiom, or the idiom, stick in your craw, is an informal expression that means to cause lasting annoyance, irritation, or hard feelings.
And does it say what a craw is?
It doesn't say a craw, what a craw is. What is a craw? The craw is the crop or preliminary stomach of a fowl.
Oh, really?
Where food is pre-digested.
Yeah, so if
an old English saying meaning when you can't swallow something, when it won't go down or you loathe to accept it, it sticks in your craw.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So that all makes perfect sense.
There. Solving everything.
Everything is solved. We are truly Holmes and Watson. All right, it is. We're gonna dive a little deeper into previewing the Oilers game. Thanks for sharing, and we'll get to more of these later on. Just some of your reactions to the game story, the Game 7 loss, and looking ahead to tonight. But we want to dive here into Fired Up, and Fired Up is presented by Gemco. As I slowly get to the pages, apparently I'm still a little groggy from Friday. Can't turn pages properly. Gemco, the proudly serving Edmonton in an area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. I know this was from the last Oilers game, but I want to talk about this. And for people on YouTube, Coob's going to roll it here in a sec. This was the Jack Eichel hit on Matthias Ekholm late in the second period. And this bugs me. Now, first of all, I should say, Jay, I don't... How do I want to put this? I think the NHL is too tolerant of cross-checking in general. Okay?
Yes.
I know there would be a lot of people, hockey people, if you want to call them that, or former NHLers who would not agree with me. I remember I asked this to Kelly Rudy once, and I said, Kelly, I think there's too much cross-checking. I mean, a guy can't go anywhere on the ice without getting a little jab in the back or someone trying to knock him off balance or something like that, right? And Kelly's like, no. I think a certain amount of cross-checking is fine. I don't mind those little jabs in the back. You gotta fight for space and fight off people. But this Eichel hit on Ekholm, now, okay, could have it been a more powerful push? Sure. But that's the exact distance from the boards, and when you see a guy's numbers, when you're not supposed to touch him, right? And I've heard varying interpretations from people. Some people have said, well, Ekholm turned around like he was innocent, or Ekholm took a dive. When I saw it live, I thought Eichel stopped playing and he turned around like, oh, yeah, I'm getting a penalty. Obviously, I'm getting a penalty. Is it going to be 2 or 5? So then a scrum broke out, of course, which is going to happen. There wasn't an actual fight. And then, Jay, at some point, Jack Eichel wound up in the penalty box. And then he was told, no, what are you talking about? If Seinfeld was reffing, no, that's not a penalty. So I just find that I as a hockey fan, and I know that this was an Oiler player that got hit, I think I would be saying the same thing if an Oiler player hit an opponent like that. That should be is an automatic penalty, and perhaps even 5 in a game in that situation. Matthias Ekholm said if I hit somebody like that, I would go to the penalty box and not say anything. There was a ref standing right there. There was another ref out at center ice, presumably watching this. And I struggle, and I don't want to turn this into a let's just heap on the refs about anything. Because as people know, when there is a call that I'm not sure about, I look up the rule, and I'm going to leave that to you this time, Jay. But I struggle with the fact that in Saturday's game, 2 NHL officials who are supposed to be at the height of their profession saw the Mark Stone play in front of the net and thought that was goaltender interference.
Yeah.
And then also saw Jack Eichel and Matthias Ekholm and thought, oh, that's cool. That's a clean play. Ekholm said he was told that it wasn't a forceful enough push. And then he said Connor talked to the refs about it, and the refs told Connor it was part of a puck battle. I mean, that is absurd.
Koob, you can just keep rolling
that is absurd. I'd sooner the refs say, you know what, Eck, I guess I didn't get a good look at it, as opposed to make up some absolute crap. So, and here's the thing. Nobody in the NHL would say, I'm comfortable getting hit that way. No player in the NHL would say, I'm fine getting knocked off balance head first into the boards, that close to the boards. I just don't understand why that's not called. And quite frankly, there are a lot of other cross-checks that I don't understand why they're not called either. And I used to talk about this with Rob after games. I would say it seems when it comes to the cross-checking of a player without a puck, it seems as if you could the closer a guy is to the other team's net, the more he can be cross-checked. Like if I was standing on the center ice dot, Jay, and a guy on the other team came up and drilled me in the back and knocked me down, it'd be a penalty. If I'm standing in front of the net trying to get a rebound and a guy cross-checks me from behind, it's probably not going to be called. So I don't like this overall standard. First of all, I may be a voice in the wilderness on that. I accept that. There may be a lot of fans and people who play hockey, have played at a high level, who think that cross-checking in of itself is part of checking. But I think this is like I'm watching it again and I'm still thinking, how is that not a penalty? Don't get it. Don't understand it one bit.
I don't either. And I mean, Reid, this type of play was why in the early 90s they changed every minor hockey jersey to have a stop sign on the back. If you can see that, don't touch the player. Right? This is exactly why. So to say that it was not enough of a push, that's what the referee said to somebody, right? That it wasn't
forceful enough.
Enough. It has no by the rule 7.2 boarding. A boarding penalty will be assessed to any player who checks or pushes an unsuspecting opponent in such a manner that causes the opponent to hit or impact the boards violently or dangerously. This does not say, it just says pushes, checks or pushes. It doesn't say pushes hard or pushes with intent. No. Checks or pushes an unsuspecting opponent to hit or impact the boards violently or dangerously. You cannot have more of a definition of a boarding call than what you just saw. And the fact that it's not even like, oh, shoot, we didn't have our eyes on that. The puck had already moved out of the zone. But the puck was right there. The referee was 20 feet away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just absurd. And, it's unfortunate. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Thankfully, Ekholm's okay. I mean, shoot, what if Ekholm stays down on the ice? What if Ekholm's knocked out and that referee did not call a penalty?
Oh, then they would have retroactively called a penalty.
But how do you not call it in the first place anyways?
I don't know.
Even if he's, okay, let's just say it. What if he fakes it? And he's like, ow, I'm hurt. And then, it's happened. People act. I get it. But if he had stayed down on the ice and had to go off the ice and leave with a trainer, that's a match penalty. Right?
Yep.
And Jack Eichel's out of the game. So you could go from that to not even having a penalty when the player himself seats himself in the penalty box. Just crazy. I mean, hey, mistakes happen.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. I know it's kind of 48 hours old already, but I think that is it's still a problem around the league, I think, to an extent. Again, I might be alone in wanting cross-check in all areas of the ice to be penalized a little more harshly. Probably not going to get my way there, but that was just so mind-bogglingly obvious and dangerous that I thought it was still worth talking about. All right, Jay has a fired up as well, and I know he wants to get some of your text messages. Do you want me to give another clue now?
Yeah,
let's
sure.
do it now. Clue number 2, Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game. We do this every Oilers game day, weekday game days here on Edmonton Sports Talk. So the second clue, Montreal. Okay? First
Montreal.
Clue, yes. First clue, Penguins. Second clue, Montreal. Here comes Zachary Kubusch.
Stuart Skinner gets a start for the Oilers when they take on the Panthers, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30 right here on EST. And we also see the Capitals against the Stars and the Canucks on the ice with the Avs for just 3 games around the NHL. And in the CFL, the Edmonton Elks have re-signed Javon Leake through the 2025-26 season, while in the American game, the Lions will be without David Montgomery for the remainder of the season after he sprained his MCL and requires surgery. Monday Night Football action has a doubleheader, having the Raiders against the Falcons and the Bears on the field with the Vikings. And you can swing by the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road to join Lieutenant Eric for the action. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep. And Sit and Sleep has kicked off its Boxing Week sales that are ongoing, where you can save big on all the major sleeping brands. Get a queen-size Euro top mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones for half price at just $3.99. Shop great deals like this and more at Sit and Sleep, but only while supplies last, so don't miss out. Get shopping at Sit and Sleep for their Boxing Week sales. Find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your Sports Update.
Want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out the grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
I'm running in circles with the hopes that I will find what I'm searching for, but the question is
What I noticed with 5-pin bowling, and I was not good at it, but my first frame was 0, 2 gutter balls, and then I got a 4. And then after that, I don't think I ever had lower than a 6, which isn't great, I know, for people who bowl. But I think I had 2 or 3 strikes and 2 or 3 spares over the couple of games.
Yeah.
I really had to follow through. I really had to concentrate on, okay, finish your throw with your hand right in front of you pointing at the target pin. And that helped me to think about going all the way through. And as you know, I don't throw hard. I'm more of a technique guy, more of a finesse guy, more of a do the technique properly, because I don't have a lot of power in this body, Jay. Look at me. Look at me. Who's going to be intimidated by me? Not some bowling ball and 10 pins. But no, I thought, okay, like follow through, really make sure it's going to your target. And was anybody spinning it? Because you see the pro bowlers, the ball almost touches the gutter on the way to the pins and then swoops back in. Mine were just going straight.
Nobody was rolling like that.
Trev had a bit of loft. I thought they might come say something to him.
Trev was definitely throwing the hardest.
Yes, and his bowling ball was landing halfway down.
Yeah,
it was almost like a slow pitch.
He was taking out some aggression on the lane. That's for sure. I think slowest bowler of the night would go probably tied between Lieutenant Eric and our own Kub. Kub was doing a backhand.
Was he? How do you do that?
You just, instead of throwing it this way,
you're shooing it?
You flick it like backhanded.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
Were you really?
He was trying a lot of different things.
I was tossing the ball with the intent of hitting the pins. Yeah, I was.
So you were sort of like you'd shoo a cat away with your wrist, the top of your hand facing the pins when you started?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't intend on anything besides throwing the ball. I might have ended up doing that with like a twist.
Step one is to just have some form of technique.
The stakes were too high to try. I mean, we only had an hour.
Yes.
So we only got 2 frames.
And we actually didn't finish the 10th because the last game I was ahead of you, but we both had a frame left. But I would have had more.
Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, brother.
780-218-9999. Do we have any off-topic submissions? Craziest thing you've ever seen at an office Christmas party?
Sobkirk got it one in early, and I haven't seen anything else trickle in yet. So, what was the topic again? It was craziest or
most memorable story from a Christmas party.
Yeah,
office like a staff Christmas party, a work Christmas party.
Sobkirk,
not a family or friends.
Says best story I have is a Friday Christmas party, but he had too much fun and went home with his dad, who also worked at the business, and his buddy showed up on Monday at work in the same Friday clothes.
Oh my goodness!
So he just stayed with his dad all weekend.
Stayed with him. Oh
yeah,
that's
he must have had a hard time getting off the couch.
Games at 6:30. Oilers and Panthers. Oilers expecting to go with the same lineup that beat Vegas on Saturday. Leon Draisaitl, by the way, was the first star of the week in the National Hockey League. 9 points in 3 games. He's been incredible this season. The Panthers may not have Barkov in the lineup, one of their top players. He's getting through an illness. We'll see. He's got a game time decision for tonight. We're also bringing you Fired Up, courtesy of Gemco. Mine was the Ekholm hit on Eichel. Mr. Milne, what do you have?
Well, I must get fired up about this because it involved my beloved Commanders, who almost got one stolen away from them yesterday. For those that didn't watch, late in the game, the Commanders were up 20-13. New Orleans Saints were driving. They had a 4th and 3 with 17 seconds left. No timeouts. So New Orleans could not stop the clock unless it was a ball that they downed. Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler completed a pass to Foster Moreau, and that pass got to the 1 yard line of the Washington of the Commanders.
How do you spell Moreau?
Moreau?
Yeah.
M-O-R. I'm reading it. E-A-U.
Oh, nice.
Moreau?
Well, he had an island.
Foster Moreau?
Yeah, Dr. Moreau.
Must be a different Foster Moreau.
Can't be the same island guy. Of Dr. Moreau.
Washington, so it got down to the 1 yard line. So they all rush up to the line, and they're trying to down it. But for some reason, the sideline judge came in and waved his hands like this, which if you're on the YouTube, you can see. If you're on the audio stream, I'm waving my hands above my head. That means stop the clock. They should not have stopped the clock. So when you look at this video that Coop's going to bring up, you will see the clock.
Yeah, mute it if you can, Coop.
So essentially, they stopped the clock for 4 seconds.
Right.
It's actually probably a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Because the play clock ran, they stopped the clock for about what accumulated to 4 seconds. Look what happens, and look how much time is left on the clock when Spencer Rattler grounds this ball. 3 seconds. So they got a whole nother play out of this for absolutely no reason. That's
a bad error.
Bad. This is bad. Because guess what happened on the next play? They scored a touchdown to go down 20-19. They could have kicked an extra point to tie it, but they decided to go to 2. Thank goodness for all that is good and great in that referee's ass that they did not get that.
For all that is good and great in
that referee.
I think you said in his.
No,
okay.
No.
Well, yeah.
Or maybe I did, Reid.
A bunch of New Orleans gumbo.
But that would have been really. That would have been. We would have been talking about this earlier in the show if they had gotten that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that's not a good error. So the ref obviously thought there was a change of possession. Whereas they'd converted the first down.
What came out after was that ref thought it was 4th and goal, not 4th and 3.
Right, that play.
So when Foster Moreau did not get into the end zone, he assumed this was a change of possession, stop the clock, it's Washington's ball. No, that wasn't the case. And that's just egregious. I mean, that's... As a referee, you got to know those things, man. You got to know it's 4th and 3. What's going on in the game?
Yeah.
Especially with that limited amount of time left.
I guess you'd say, shouldn't the clock operator know? But the clock operator is going off.
Because
the official could see an injury or something that he doesn't see and think, oh, I got to stop it. All right. 780-218-9999. So we were definitely fired up today as portions of this hour are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game ticks and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. But the Commanders did win. Have they clinched? They're getting close.
Oh, they haven't clinched. They're in a wild card spot.
Well, they've got a better chance than the Seattle Seahawks.
They sure do.
I was not optimistic going into last night's game, and that proved to be founded as opposed to unfounded.
Martin says, when Jay gets this fired up, we can call him the crazy glue guy. Love it.
The crazy glue guy.
I like that. Nice. I like that. Hey, Maddie, am I allowed to say that anything came in today or no?
It's our stop.
Okay.
Everything is getting shipped. Today was getting shipped.
So some things
arrived.
arrived.
If people have seen our dunk video, we know some things arrived.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Another 10 out of 10 on the dunk video, Reid.
Yeah, the judges like my dunking.
Spency 5 Centsy, regarding Eichel Ekholm play, why not have all potential penalty plays be reviewable? I know what your answer is going to be. They already have a process to make the correct call. The game is too fast now, and to make consistent calls, officials need all the help they can get. You could call a penalty on pretty much every possession if you wanted to, or challenge it. I mean, the saying in football is you can call holding on every play. It's just a matter of how meaningful it is to the play, that the task at hand.
I get it. I still think that there has to be a line with video review because it does slow the day down, slows the game down. And you don't want coaches going on fishing expeditions. Now in the NHL, if you're wrong, the other team gets a power play, right? So I think that's a good compromise as opposed to it being tied to the timeout.
I think they can have a league. Maybe a happy compromise is this, because in the NFL, if they get something really wrong, aggressive, and there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, they can have the league. What do they call it? The automatic review, or the.
So if the league, they blow the whistle and say stop the play. The league has deemed this to be a penalty,
or they check for the spot of the ball or something like that.
Yeah,
but usually those happen pretty quickly, and usually they're black or white. Oh, he wasn't tackled on the 48. He was tackled on the 47. We checked it. We put the ball in the right place. There would still be, I suppose, some judgment in the Ekholm-Eichel play. And I guess, do we really want everything being reviewable? I guess you could say you get one review per game. And if you're wrong, it's still a delay of game penalty. I don't know. As much as I don't like that the call was missed, I'm not sure I like the idea of it being. Now, if they would have called a major, then they could have reviewed it, right? They can check for a major penalty to see if it should have been a major penalty. If there's no penalty on the play, they can't check to see if it should have been a penalty.
We've got a lot of people fired up about this too.
Good.
Jeffy says Eichel almost lost his career due to a neck injury. How would he and his teammates feel if it were the other way around? It's complete garbage. This hit has to be harshly punished until it's out of the game. Now, let me ask you this, Reid. Is there anything the NHL could do now, retroactively?
Well, they could suspend him. He could be suspended or fined. I would think that would have happened by now.
Is that a suspendable play or hit?
Well, if I ran the NHL,
I know, but to say that Ekholm was not injured. He finished the game. I mean, I don't know how much you would do.
They're not going to do anything now, sadly.
Nature Boy says hits from behind into the boards is the second most dangerous hit in hockey behind headshots. The only way the NHL is going to do anything about it is somebody's going to have to break their neck.
Well, it's sad. And I mean, all this stuff, player safety. Okay, protect the players.
Yeah, that's a load of crap, though, and you know it.
Protect the person that's being hit. Don't protect the person that's giving out the hit.
Wow. Michelle R. Hello, Gigi and Riedrich. Was at the flea market on Saturday and saw these two games and, of course, thought of Reid. The Ticket to Ride.
Okay, good game.
Was board games there.
Yeah.
How much are these games you play? She said they were pricey. What's Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sales?
Yeah, I don't have. There's a bunch of Ticket to Ride games.
Okay.
It's a whole series.
Oh.
There are expansions. I think Rails and Sales involves shipping routes as well as trains. And then there's ones for specific countries that modify the rules a little bit.
Well, you failed to lead.
There's a legacy game now. There's a legacy game now. So you finish one game and then you unopen other boxes and parts of the map.
She said this is at the flea market. $123 and $65. There was two games there. There's Rails and Sales and then Nordic countries.
Yeah. Whew. I'm surprised there was one that was 123. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, depending on what game you play. I mean, board games are not $15. Were they ever?
I honestly, Reid, I don't know.
I could tell you anything
and
you'd believe it. Wow.
I mean, honestly,
welcome to Joyville, everybody. Population J.
I think the board games that we have been like passed down and whatnot. I don't.
Yeah, modern board gaming is a little different, but they're not. I mean, if you think about it, something you might play once a month for a couple of years. That's 24 times. It's not going to be $24. I'm surprised that one game was 123. That's shocking.
Yeah, at a flea market.
That's almost unbelievable. All right, we got more messages for later, possibly.
Oh, there's some good ones for.
Okay. We'll get to them.
Sure.
Because we got to do the oil understood. Doug Plagens is coming up from the Panthers play-by-play booth. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
It's a Stanley Cup final rematch seeing Edmonton host the Florida Panthers with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, it's the Canucks battling the Avs and the Caps playing the Stars, having just 3 games in the NHL. And the Javon Leake has re-signed with the Elks for next season after he recorded over 1,700 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns last year. In the NFL, the Lions will miss David Montgomery for the remainder of the season after he requires surgery to repair his sprained MCL. And tonight, it's the Vikings kicking off against the Bears and the Falcons with the Raiders, where you can swing by the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the game alongside Lieutenant Eric. On the court, the Raptors face the Bulls, having 6 games in the association. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. 6:30 game of Rogers Place as the Oilers go after their 6th consecutive victory, taking on the Florida Panthers, who have been shut out 2 straight games. So we will have our GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas coming up at 5:30. So a slightly abbreviated edition of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Should I give a hint, baby? Yeah, baby. As we are coming to you from the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. So, third clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Reminder, we accept text submissions for this only. Maximum of 3 guesses per phone number. Set to 780-218-9999. The third clue is football. So the clues to this point: Penguins, Montreal, and football. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome, Reid. I don't know what that was.
Well, that's Tony the Tiger.
Sounded a little bit like Goofy.
Tony, your frosted flakes will not get you out of this situation. I'm going to see Die Hard Friday.
Oh, at the Garneau?
At the, what do we call it again?
Metro Cinema
the
at
Metro
Garneau.
Cinema at the Garneau. Is that what they told us it's called now?
Oh, I must have
Friday at 9:30.
Must have missed your text.
No, I told you last week.
I didn't get formally invited.
Oh no, sorry. This is a non-work event. This is not an EST event. Imagine if everybody's going to see Die Hard. It's not Jay. No, sorry, Jay. It wasn't formalized through work. I just asked a bunch of people I work with to come with me. I'm looking forward to seeing it, even though it is not a Christmas movie. It's an action movie. Did I give the clue?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Football. 780-218-9999 to guess. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We came out of the gate hot. People aren't delaying their pleasure because here's the thing. People were giving the thumbs up early because they know there's the hockey game and they got to focus. So we're almost at 100, though, already. So don't wait any longer. Tell your family and friends, enemies, colleagues, exes, give us a thumbs up. Oh, my goodness, we're going to do the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right. As we told you, the game's coming up at 6:30. Let's before we get to the clips, though, why don't we do a couple more texts or however many we have that you want to read, Jay?
Let's dive in here. I got Oilers text, and then I got some Christmas stuff, but we can always get back into the Christmas parties.
A little bit later on.
The Oilers look like a team that could do a lot of damage in the playoffs. Great special teams, goal scoring from all over the lineup, and elite goaltending. Very encouraging to see after the miserable start to the season. That comes in from L. Diddy. Not P. Diddy.
Not P. Diddy.
L. Diddy.
L. Diddy. All right.
I don't think P. Diddy's texting much these days.
How come?
I think he's in trouble.
Oh, is he a bad guy too?
I've only heard.
I miss most of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just know that what Def Leppard did and that Taylor Swift is popular. That's my musical knowledge these days. Look, I both get the references to how they're going to play in the playoffs, yet I also say, okay, just keep building.
Yeah.
They remember when they were 0-3? Well, I guess they're not going to make the playoffs. Now they're solidly in a playoff position. Just keep building. It's very likely the roster will have a couple of changes, at least by the time we get to the postseason. But did that texter say, L. Diddy, they look like a different team? They certainly look like a different team than I would say the first 12 to 15 games of the year.
L. Diddy said, very encouraging to see after the miserable start to the season.
Yes, because you worry how long is this going to go on.
Yes.
And then, even some of the games they won earlier in the season, it was kind of like, did they really play that great? Very solid. I think solid in all areas of the ice. He mentioned the goaltending. Both goalies have been good lately. And after the game on Saturday, Knobloch said that he thought Skinner was their best player. I don't know if I got the sense that Knobloch wasn't overly happy with that game against Vegas. I think he might have thought they gave up a little bit too much. Now they got their 6, which is going to win you most games.
I don't know. That team looked strong. That team looked, we were talking about it earlier. Earlier in the year, you were saying that this team literally can't make a 20-foot pass.
Correct.
Well, they made passes out the wazoo at that on Saturday. I mean, the tic-tac-toe getting out of the zone to lead to that Connor Brown goal was just incredible. Hey, guys, where do you think Victor Arvidsson plays when he is healthy? That comes in from Sam.
Oh, I think he plays with Draisaitl and Podkolzin. I still think that's his spot. I think Kapanen gets bumped down. Now then you have to take somebody else out, assuming everybody's still healthy at that time. Arvidsson did skate today. He took Bouchard's spot for some of it, and Knobloch joked, we're not quite ready to use him on defense yet. Bouchard is going to play just a maintenance day for him. I think that Arvidsson gets back into the top 6, and he gets another chance there, and that I think Kapanen is down lower in the lineup. But we've seen some good games from Kapanen. Much better than I thought. He uses his speed well. He takes the puck to the net. He set up Draisaitl for a one-timer try on Saturday against the Golden Knights. He's been pretty good. So a nice problem to have when Arvidsson comes back. But I think that he'll get his default spot with Draisaitl.
Okay. I'm going to deviate from these a bit, and I have a question I want to ask you. Would you say Leon Draisaitl is the MVP of thus far.
Of
right
the
now.
team?
Of the league.
I think he's up there. I think Kaprizov would probably win if there was a vote right now. I'm just double checking the point totals. McKinnon has 50, Kaprizov 47, Kucherov and Rantanen 46, Draisaitl 45. Draisaitl's obviously leading in goals. How far ahead is he in goals? Well, Kaprizov is tied with him. I think if there was a vote right now, and it's done by media members, I do not vote on the awards. You got to be in the Professional Hockey Writers Association. I would think Kaprizov would win it. And here's the thing, McDavid would probably also get some votes. And that would mean fewer votes for Draisaitl. Or maybe fewer first place votes.
Reason I ask, 3 points again on Saturday. 13 points in his last 5 games. He's leading the league. Well, he's tied with Kaprizov in goals at 22.
Yeah.
He's leading in even strength goals at 18 and game-winning goals at 7. This player is on fire.
He's doing very well.
I don't know what else you would want to ask out of him.
Well, nothing. It's just you asked me if he's the Hart Trophy winner right now, and I'm trying to guess how people would vote. And you got to acknowledge there are other players having really good years.
Sure.
But I think
I'd say he's really turned it on.
Draisaitl is a Hart Trophy candidate.
Okay.
I mean, he has won the Hart Trophy. He's had a lot of other great seasons where you still wouldn't have said he's a Hart. Like, it's hard to be a Hart Trophy candidate. Like, if you're the 8th best player in the league, you're not a Hart Trophy candidate.
No.
Because only the top 3 guys even get nominated.
Waddy
or
and
get
Cloverdale.
finalists.
Waddy in Cloverdale says, going to see Die Hard at the Garneau. Weird time of year to host a special showing of an action movie, Reid.
Well, it is an action movie. Set at Christmas, which is why they're showing it there, but it's not a Christmas movie. Same thing with Gremlins last year. I went and saw Gremlins last year. It's set at Christmas.
This text, I love this one. This was a spicy. Can't stand Matthew Tkachuk, Bennett, Ekblad, Forsling, and Paul Maurice. Panthers are a true villain for me.
He's got the coach in there.
He's got the coach in there. Rodney.
That's what, a quarter of the roster?
Yeah.
Well, Matthew Tkachuk goes back a ways. I guess Bennett, you could say, goes back to Calgary too, though he's a better player in Florida. Who else? Ekblad. How many people... That's an interesting question for Oilers fans. How many people now hate Forsling after maybe not knowing much about him before the Cup final? He's like, the word hard to play against? He's hard to play against. I mean, he takes away your ice for sure.
That was an eye-opener.
Do you hate Paul Maurice?
No, I like Paul Maurice.
He's intelligent. He sounds intelligent to listen to.
I like him more now hearing the way he talks with his players on the bench. And, you've heard him through some of the clips off of that Amazon Prime documentary.
Yeah.
He's a fiery guy. I like that, but that's just me. I like a fiery head coach. I'm not much for, they did okay.
You don't like how Knobloch talks all the time.
100%.
Okay.
You'll never get me off that one. But,
that's fair.
Proof's in the pudding. This came in from Corporal Caddy. The Eichel hit on Ekholm should be an automatic suspension. The league always talks about player safety, but the refs turn a blind eye on hits like that. Congratulations, Bettman, says Corporal Caddy.
That's part of the text?
Yes,
congratulations. Sarcastic.
Maybe they're
congratulations
still
to Gary
thinking
Bettman.
You are Bettman.
Yeah. It's, and one thing, and this used to annoy Rob Brown, and probably, I don't know if we have any other former NHL players listening, but so a player gets suspended, right? Sometimes, and there's an appeal. Oh, we don't want him to get that many games because he doesn't get paid. If he's suspended 6 games, he doesn't get paid for 6 games. We want it down to 4.
Yeah.
But the guy that got hurt on the play could not have a career next year. Like he'll get paid the rest of this year, but maybe it's something where it's like, oh, he can't play. He can't get a contract now.
Yeah.
Because he got hurt so bad. Who are you protecting? Do you not want, like, if you're the NHLPA, would it not be like, hey, we don't want our members of the association hurting each other? It's, we don't want guys getting fined and losing pay, and we also don't want players losing their careers.
Yeah, you can't have both. I mean, I don't know. It was just an egregious missed call. This comes in from Hugh. I wonder if his last name's Jazz. The Oilers have done a much better job breaking the puck out of their end, which is allowing them to score off the rush and or start forechecking.
Well, I think that's what you referenced. It's the Connor Brown goal, right?
Connor
Where you
Brown
really
goal
like the passing. It was up the wall, into the middle, the Draisaitl. He takes it in, shoots, and then Brown puts in the rebound.
It was reminiscent of a goal. I forget who it was that the Oilers had scored on them earlier in the year. Oh, yeah. When they walked right by Bouchard. Remember that goal? And Ekholm thought Bouchard was taking this guy. It was against Vegas. They had a breakout that quickly turned a 3-on-3 into a 2-on-1 and then a 1-on-0, essentially. The Oilers did that to Vegas on the weekend. Finished off great passing by Leon across to Connor Brown. But they're making those passes. Those were three tough passes to make that led to that opportunity. So I would agree with that, Hugh.
Yeah, I think that's a big difference. I mean, they are defending better, and then as a result, the goaltending looks better. And then when they get the puck, they're making sharp passes up the ice. Like, how many times earlier in the season did you and I talk about the game the next day and say, yeah, that one play, I had no idea who he was passing to. Or he missed, or I think he was passing to this guy, but it was 10 feet. Like, NHL players should be able to make these plays. Matthew Tkachuk in the Nasty Chat has written a limerick.
Hey!
It is apparent for all to see that the best hockey player is me. I played Ticket to Ride. I won, Connor cried. And yeah, I do smell of pee. That is really good.
Wow, it's so awesome that
Matthew Tkachuk. On a game day?
So close to game day.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's probably had his afternoon nap, so he's probably just at the hotel room getting ready and put the stream on. Probably gave us a thumbs up on YouTube.
He'd be down at the rink having a pregame coffee.
Oh, he might be down there having the coffee.
Probably listening to us in his locker room stall right now. Good luck to you tonight, Mr. Tkachuk.
Yeah, thank you for... That'd be great if we started getting limericks from players. Let's get to a couple clips here. Which one was the first one, Koob? The McDavid one? Here's Connor McDavid, a little bit about the Panthers being tough to score on.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, they got a lot of good D-men, as you said. They play a great team defense, and they got a great goaltender. You know, they make it tough on you to score goals, and that's what makes it fun, though.
All right, and Zach Hyman, who is on a nice little goal-scoring spree since he came back from injury, also had this to say about the Panthers' tough defending.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously very familiar with how they play, so you just have to go to those areas. I mean, it's when there's a box out, it's a one-on-one battle. It's who wants to get to the net, who wants to box the other guy out. It's, you know, you don't just get boxed out. You got to work around it and find a way to get to the net. And I think of late, we're doing a good job of shooting from the point and getting guys from front and scoring tips or second chances. And I think that that's important to do against a team like this.
All right. Yeah, Hyman will be big tonight, trying to have some presence in front of Bobrovsky. We'll do the Knobloch on Skinner clip next segment, Koob, as part of Crunch the Numbers for Gallo LLP. 780-218-9999. Email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Do we have a winner? I don't know if I want to give a... Do we give a clue already?
Yeah, you've given three.
Maybe we better. It's a shorter show.
It's a tough one.
Have people guessed anything?
Oh, yeah.
There have been guesses. All wrong, obviously. It's the Hudson's Canada's Pub.
They've been all over the place, too.
Okay, well, that's fine. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. We're getting to Clue 4 today. And Clue 4 is 4. F-O-U-R. So the clues so far, Penguins, Montreal, football, and 4. Send us your guess. Maximum of 3 guesses, by the way, to 780-218-9999. Penguins, Montreal, football, 4.
Classic.
None of these are misleading. Like, they're all very clear clues.
Very.
Somebody will get it during the commercial. We got the Koob with the sports update.
It's the Oilers and the Panthers with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 5:30, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. And there's 2 other games around the league, seeing the Stars match up against the Caps and the Avs, meeting the Canucks. In the CFL, Javon Leake has re-upped with the Edmonton Elks, while down south, David Montgomery of the Lions will miss the rest of the season after needing surgery on his sprained MCL. In Monday Night Football, action has the Falcons taking on Desmond Ridder and the Raiders, while the Vikings battle the Bears with Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for that one. On the court, the Raps face the Bulls, having 6 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years, Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. Crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP leads us on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
All right, we're here. Hope you're doing okay. Cold week here in Edmonton. My goodness. We're going to have Doug Plagens, Florida Panthers play-by-play voice, on the show at 5. Always love talking to Doug. He was one of our first guests, first or second week. He was on the show. I've got to be kind of buddies with him over the years. Really nice guy. Likes the hard music. Like, what is it called? The thrash metal, the death metal. He likes the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Likes his baseball cards.
Kind of like Koob.
And
Koob likes the death metal.
He's a Detroit Lions fan. He's from Detroit. Are you into death metal, Koob?
Oh, I love it. It's the best kind of metal.
Who's your favorite band?
Death. Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny. Death.
Do you like King Diamond?
I don't think I've heard much of King Diamond. I probably know a couple songs.
I don't know if King Diamond is still active.
Is Gwar heavy metal?
Gwar would be thrash. Yeah.
But they're kind of satirical, aren't they?
Yeah, but they have good music. Like, nothing above expectation. I guess they're kind of in that middle ground, like kind of mediocre. Not that it's bad, but it doesn't stand above the rest. But when you're at the show, it's a little bit different.
They're
Gwar.
very sort of, and don't they wear silly,
they have
somewhat
so many
silly
get-ups,
costumes?
Like metal, like Metallica used to be heavy metal when they first came onto the scene. That was heavy metal.
They started thrash. They're one of the big 4 thrash band. Well, I guess metal bands. There's Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, and then Metallica.
They're no longer heavy metal.
I mean, they're kind of just doing whatever.
Rock.
Yeah, dad rock now. Not even like soft rock.
But so is metal the like when they're yelling and it's like
well, death metal has like the growls. It's certain like I want to say like Pantera is still thrash, like it's heavier metal, but like guy has a raspy voice, but like death where like they do their growls, they call it. So
okay, somebody tell me if King Diamond is still around. Portions of this hour are presented by Canadian Brew House. You can book your holiday party or any party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Do we have a winner in the mystery athlete of the game?
Not even close.
Then we will just wait till we give out the fifth clue. The 4 clues so far: Penguins, Montreal, football, and 4. We'll just leave it at that. We'll have to. We'll give another clue. I don't know, 4:40, 4:45.
Yeah.
Hopefully, someone gets it off the fifth clue. If not after 5, I'm going to have to give a giveaway clue.
Yeah. Bowen says, "Ouch, Dad Rock."
Yeah,
some of us
wasn't
still
sure
like
what kind of
Metallica.
a comment that was,
Coob.
I love Metallica. I know so much about them. They're one of my favorite bands, but they're not as good as their old stuff. And it's still thrash, but it's not as good.
We've got a nice little limerick here for our dear friend Matthew Kachuk. So I hope he's still listening. Yeah. Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont.
He's still out there. It's freezing. I hope he has
crazy.
A blanket.
He must.
Got a
Maybe one
heated
of
blanket.
those heated ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
There once was a panther named Kachuk, whose antics brought plenty of bad luck.
Oh, my.
He'd turtle, then flee. Not the bravest, you see. And his manners, well, somewhat amuck.
I was worried he was going to rhyme something else as that limerick was going on.
No, that's why I did the old pre-read on that one.
Yeah, you don't want to read that one cold.
Things rhyming with uck.
Very good.
I better read that one. Where are we at here?
We're crunch the numbers, baby. Or you got something else?
No, we're at 95. Let's hammer through this. We got to get to
let's get
our
up
130.
to we want to get 130 thumbs. I mean, at least 100. We had 62 in the first half hour of the show.
Yeah,
and then people tend to cool off a little bit. Well, I mean, very attainable here with the number of people who are in on the stream. And
the pleasure delayers are out.
Yeah, let's remember we're done at 5:30 today too. So let's get in there really quick. 780-218-9999, Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It is time to crunch the numbers for Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, GalloLLP.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. Before I get to the numbers, I want to get to the audio from the head coach, Chris Knobloch, commenting on Stuart Skinner.
Wasn't the start that he wanted, wasn't the start that anybody wanted with our team, but, he's taking his game to another level. And I should also mention, Pix has been playing pretty well too. But I think he's been able to, the start of the season, maybe that's the longest stretch I've ever seen him play where maybe he wasn't at his top of his game. Where last year, if he ever had a bad game, he rebounded very quickly and put together a strong game or string of games. I don't think you see a lot of maturity in Stu with being able to not get too down on himself. He's able to focus and the work with Dustin Schwartz, putting a focus on what teaching points are important and where he needs to get better and how to respond. And I think Stu has showed a lot of maturity for still a young goalie. And, we've obviously relied on him quite a bit because of that.
So let's just look at this for Skinner here. So first of all, this Oilers run of going 8-1 in 9 games, okay? The one game they lost was 1-0. They have allowed 3 goals or fewer in every game. So pretty good. Skinner in that time is 5-1 with a .942 save percentage and a 1.68 goals against average. So excellent. I realize that, Reid not sustainable. He won't do that for a whole year. No, he won't. But good players have good bursts.
Absolutely.
Like Draisaitl won't average 3 points a game, but he did it in the past week to get the first start of the week. And some really, really good numbers here for the Oilers. So as I mentioned, 8-1 in their last 9. In that stretch, outscoring the opposition 39-17. That's 4.3 to 1.9 in terms of goals per game. The penalty kill, 84.2% in the last 9 games. Pretty good.
Very good.
Much better than the high 50s, low 60s it was for much as... Where are they still?
On what, Reid?
For the season on the PK.
On the season? I'll find out for you right now.
I got it right here. They're still 26th at 73%. That's how bad they were. They've gone 84% for basically 3 weeks, and they're still near the bottom of the league. The power play in the last 9 games is 36.4%. That's why I wasn't panicking earlier about the power play. Other things, maybe a little bit. I don't know if I was panicking about. I was a little more worried about. I always said this power play will produce. They will score goals. They will score big goals. And the Jeff Skinner goal on Saturday was right after a power play ended. So there you go. Some things turning around for the Oilers that's allowing them to bank these points. I will get to some negative stats for the Oilers, though, that could be worrisome for tonight if you believe in this sort of thing. On Mondays this season,
Yeah, this is nuts.
the Oilers are 0-3, and they've been outscored 12-1. And their captain got hurt in one of the games. They played a Monday game in Columbus. They lost 6-1. Probably should have been 6-0. They scored in the last minute. And then the 2 prime games they've been on before this one, on November 4th at Rogers Place, they were shut out 3-0 by the Devils. And then on November 18th in Montreal, they were shut out 3-0 by the Canadiens. So this year,
got a case of the Mondays.
That's right. That's very true, Jay. So there's another number for you to crunch for Gallo LLP. The Florida Panthers have scored 1 goal in their last 3 games. They have gone 146 minutes and 1 second without scoring because they were shut out in Vancouver and in Calgary. They last scored late in the second period on Tuesday of last week against Seattle. They won the game 2-1 in overtime, but the second goal that they get credit for winning in a shootout doesn't count as a goal scored for the purpose of breaking the shutout streak. So they're on a poor streak, especially goal-scoring wise, coming into this one, and we don't know if Barkov is going to play.
How much do you think that drives you nuts?
Oh, not scoring?
Yeah.
A lot.
Especially a team like that. Yeah. And obviously the Oilers went through that earlier in the season, right? And you know, what do? You even asked Hyman about puck luck, or that was Corey Perry, who gave you an actual answer. Yeah. You know, but you have to be in the right position.
Yes.
To have said puck luck.
Yes.
And that's like, you know, my crunching the numbers about your Chefs. How they're the worst 13-1 team the NFL has ever seen. But they put themselves in positions to win.
All right, so what do you have on the Kansas City Chiefs? Who are not my Chefs, by the way. I just don't hate them. I just think they're really good.
I don't hate them either. No,
They have become hated.
Do you know they have yet to score 30-plus points in a game?
I did not specifically know that.
That is incredible. That's almost hard to do.
Some teams are scoring in the 40s and losing.
Yeah. Okay, but here's just some things that are just mind-numbing about how this team is 13-1. Clearly one of the Super Bowl favorites, although, I mean, Patrick Mahomes did get injured yesterday. By all reports, it's a high ankle sprain, but that team goes as far as Patrick Mahomes takes them.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but Carson Wentz is not navigating you through the playoffs and to a Super Bowl. It just is not happening. The team is not deep enough. They don't have enough offensive weapons. They don't have a number 1 running back right now that can carry the mail. Just not going to happen. In points per game, they're 12th in the league with 23.5. Rush yards per game, they're 16th. That's half at 112 yards per game. Pass yards, they're 15th at 240. They have the worst point differential since 1970.
Really?
So points for minus points against. That's what points differential is. Obviously, they're in the plus because they're 13-1.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 56. Now, this was taken when they were 12-1. So I'll say that. But you know who else was 12-1? Up until last night.
The
yesterday.
Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions. Dustin's team. Nutsy deal.
And Doug Plagens' team.
Yes, that's right. You said that. You know what their plus minus is?
Plus 120.
Plus 189.
Oh, jeez.
That's how bad this... But, hey, winning teams win. Okay? I get it. And speaking of crunching the numbers, this one really sucks. If you know, maybe you should bring this up to Doug.
What?
He's not going to want to hear this. But Jared Goff made history yesterday. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to lose a game with 400 plus passing yards, 5+ passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. First in NFL history to lose that game with those stats.
So did he, the game he won against the Texans, did he throw 4 or 5 picks?
I thought it was 5.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And they won that game.
Yeah.
We'll see what our buddy Doug has to say about the Detroit Lions.
He's probably, yes, we will see. I mean, you're kicking a short kick with 12 minutes or, there was a lot of time left in the game. I think just under 12 minutes to go in the game, and you're only down by 10 points.
Well, I guess and was it
3%
3% to get the short kick back?
Very, very slim chances. And not only that, the player from Buffalo returned it down to inside the red zone. So
okay, yeah, I didn't see this.
It was really nullified. Yeah, it was stupid.
Well, that's interesting stuff about the Chiefs. It may not be their year. And Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah,
in Philly.
Pittsburgh's
there
overrated.
were a couple of really big games yesterday.
Yeah. Well, the standings are starting to settle in.
So how are I'm not feeling good about the Seahawks' chances anymore.
You shouldn't.
Well, I didn't feel good about them going into I shouldn't say before. And okay, but here's my team again that I still say watch out for, and that's the Rams if they get in. And I do think now they're the favorite to win the NFC West. Because they have the tiebreaker on Seattle, and they play Seattle again at the end of the year.
Yep.
I know that they may not have
they control their
record.
destiny right now.
Right. But I think...
But they have the lowest playoff probability right now of teams that are in playoff position at 55%. So... There's still a lot to shake out in that NFC West because the Seahawks and Cardinals are still alive.
The NFC West is not going to get a wild card. Very likely.
Yeah,
so that you either win the division or it's unlikely that division is going to get 2 playoff teams.
There's the NFC South. I mean, right now the Buccaneers are first in the NFC South at 8-6. They're tied with the Rams.
Right.
So if the NFC South teams fall off, which they very well
could. But the NFC
could,
South team will get the division winner in.
They'll get that.
But
so I guess you're just going to have the Packers. There's going to be 2 NFC
Vikings,
North
Packers,
teams.
Commanders have the inside track on the wild cards.
Yeah.
The 3 wild cards. I guess Seattle is hanging around, but they got to play Minnesota. Then they play the Bears, who are beatable, but it's in Chicago, and then they'll play the Rams at the end of the year.
I don't know why tonight's Monday Nighter with the Vikings and the Bears makes me... I don't know.
There are 2 games tonight.
There are. The Vikings-Bears one is probably going to be the
most
the
Vikings should crush them. And should Atlanta not crush Vegas?
They should.
Even
though
Atlanta's below 500?
Well, and this is a huge game for Atlanta right now, who's sitting at 6-7. If they win tonight, they would be tied. Right. Or no, they'd still be behind.
They keep the Heat. They're a game behind Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They still keep the Heat on them there.
Yeah, the NFC South is bad.
That is crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. Oilers and Panthers coming up tonight at 6:30 at Rogers Place. Remember, the game is on Prime. Our coverage will start at 5:30 with the Oil Stream pregame show. Our studio sponsor is James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. My top 3 list concerns a Canadian legend coming up.
Stuart Skinner gets a start for the Oilers when they take on the Panthers, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 5:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We also see the Avs against the Stars and the Canucks on the ice with the Avs for just 3 games around the NHL. While in the CFL, the Edmonton Elks have re-signed Javon Leake through the 2025-26 seasons. In the American game, has the Lions missing David Montgomery for the remainder of the year after he sprained his MCL last night. Monday Night Football has a doubleheader, seeing the Raiders against the Falcons, and the Bears on the field with the Vikings. You can swing by the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road to join Lieutenant Eric for the action. And on the court, the Raptors battle the Bulls with 6 games around the association. Reid's Top 3 on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hello, Jay.
Keep the music up. Turn the music down just a bit. Is this metal?
This is definitely metal.
Okay.
This is definitely metal. Basically, all the music played today has been metal.
Is it Metal Monday? Are we creating something? I think Matt.
I like that.
Matt, you invented that? Oh, what was that? I couldn't hear that show. Is it still on?
Oh, my God, Jay.
Can we get it on TuneIn?
That's cruel.
Oh, Maddie.
Oh, my goodness.
Looks like Metal Monday is totally a Reid Wilkins show thing. What an idea, Zach.
Yeah, great going. Good job, Coop. 780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there as well. We are over 100 thumbs, so we thank you for reaching our minimum goal every day. If we get to 130, Jay Milne will teach us all the word of the day.
And if we get to 150, I'll give you a bonus word of the day.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Now, what we've been doing with the word of the day, we didn't talk about this, but sort of what we've been doing is Jay gives the word, and I try to spell it as if I'm in the... What is it, the Scripps Spelling Bee? What's the name of the big spelling bee?
I think it is the Scripps
Spelling Bee. And then I try to guess the definition, but Jay helps me with that. Did I spell both of them right so far?
Oh, yeah.
Scintilla and pastiche. Well, pastiche I more or less knew. Scintilla I didn't quite knew.
You know, my dad,
know.
My mom texted me and told me that my dad knew what scintilla
Oh, that's
meant.
awesome. Language is fun.
It is, especially when used correctly.
Yeah, that's what I like about working with you, Jay. You brung it every day. All right, so the Oilers play at 6:30. Skinner, Bobrovsky, the goaltending matchup. Same lineup for the Oilers that they've been using. Barkov, good player. Not sure if he's going to go for the Panthers. Missed Saturday's game with an illness. The Panthers trying to break a 146-minute and 1 second goalless drought. They've been shut out 2 consecutive games. So we were sitting in the bullpen the other day, or earlier today, I should say, And I can't remember if it came up as a commercial on somebody's YouTube was watching or we just started talking about it, but there's this movie coming out called Sonic 3. So it's Sonic the Hedgehog from was that a Sega character?
Yes.
So it's already the third Sonic movie. You got to complete the trilogy, I guess. you can't leave people hanging. But these are geared towards younger people, are they not? They're not thinking Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne are going to go see this on a Friday night at the Garneau.
They might think Reid Wilkins would be. They might snare you with that.
I've never seen a Sonic movie. But the villain in these movies is played by Canadian Jim Carrey. And you informed me, I missed this, I didn't realize this, that he had retired from acting.
Yeah.
Now, he was in a television show called Kidding from 2018 to 2020. He was in a few episodes of that. But the only movies he has been in since 2016 are the 3 Sonic movies. So these he deems fine to break his retirement. I'm guessing there's something that helps him deem them as fine.
No, he said it. He came out and said, I need the money.
And he's playing 2 characters in this one. Dr. Ivo, did I say that right? Ivo Eggman Robotnik and Professor Gerald Robotnik. Are these the villains from the Sonic series? Coob?
Yes, they are. Eggman. Dr. Robotnik or Eggman.
Oh, Eggman.
That's his
It's
nickname,
spelled
yeah.
like Eggman on the Wikipedia page here.
Yeah, very interesting
But it said
character. He got the
Eggman?
big mustache.
Mhm.
He's a bald guy. Kind
All
of looks
right.
like an egg.
So that inspires our top 3 for food sausages, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering online code EST or mentioning EST in store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat, McLeod. All right.
Keanu Reeves is in Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's
3?
a voice of something.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
there's 3 hedgehogs in this one. So there's
What's
Sonic.
this?
What are the other 2 hedgehogs, Coop? Oh, Coop's eating. He's pointing to his mouth. So Ben Schwartz is Sonic. Colleen O'Shaughnessy is another hedgehog named Miles Tails Prower. And Keanu Reeves is Shadow the Hedgehog.
How could we forget?
That's
And
the
Knuckles.
voice acting.
Of course, Knuckles, yes.
And Idris Elba is Knuckles. That's not a hedgehog?
Idris
is a
Elba
hedgehog.
is in this?
So who are the 3 hedgehogs?
Well, Shadow the Hedgehog, and then Knuckles, and then Sonic. I think Tails is a different form
Tails.
of creature.
Oh, yeah. Tails is a fox. My
Yeah, yeah.
apology.
Tails
My
is a fox.
apologies to Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who voices
dare you.
Tails. Colleen, please come on the show. So here are our top 3. My top 3. We're both going to have one, I think, for food sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat. Top 3 Jim Carrey movies. Not a Christmas one today. Though he did do a version of The Grinch, did he? Or he did a version of... No, yeah, he did do a version of The Grinch. Was he a voice in the version of A Christmas Carol as well? An animated one? I got his filmography right here.
You're thinking the Grinch for sure.
He played the Grinch where he was in the green suit,
The
right?
real one.
Yeah, the live action one.
Yeah.
The real Grinch. I thought there was some version of the Christmas Carol that he was in a Christmas Carol. Yeah, he did voice and motion capture for Ebenezer Scrooge.
Which
and
one
the
was that?
Ghosts, 2009.
Ah.
It was animated, so he did video and motion capture of Scrooge and the 3 ghosts. Christmas, past, present, and yet to come. Top 3 Jim Carrey movies. My number 1's a no-doubter. It would be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It was ahead of its time. It somewhat predicted some of the things we see now with television and entertainment. Truman Show. This is a great movie. Just, to me, works on every level. Great performances. Cool story. Plot twists. He's great in it. I got to put Truman Show on this list.
Is this the one where he's part of a TV show and he doesn't know it?
Yes, he was adopted by, I believe the story was that he was adopted by a television network. and raised by them with his whole life being on TV. And everybody in his whole environment is an actor. And even the town he lives in is a gigantic soundstage.
And he doesn't know it. Because
he does not know it.
Yeah.
But throughout the course of the movie, he begins to suspect that something ain't right. But just the way it's done, it's brilliant.
I'll add that to my must watch.
Wait a minute. You have not seen The Truman Show?
No.
Okay.
What would it be on?
TV.
Boo! You suck. Sorry, that was 2, Jay.
Thanks, Coop. I can.
Yeah, I'm sure you could stream The Truman Show. I could lend it to you.
I've told you guys that I don't watch movies. I don't have time to watch a movie.
No, that's fair. I understand that.
And if I...
But this would have come out when you were in your late teens.
But you know what I am going to watch, I think, over the holidays?
What?
Is we're going to take the girls and go to a theater and I think watch that Lion King.
Oh, the birth of Scar?
I believe so.
Only in theaters on Christmas.
Yeah.
So, okay. So they're real lions, but they're not real lions.
They're CGI.
So why not just use real lions and train them?
I could see that.
Like it's
going
still
well.
animated. This is what bugs me. It's still animated.
Yeah,
they just
said it's not.
But they're trying to make it look like, oh, we remade the Lion King with real animals. No, you didn't.
No, I don't know that anybody's saying that.
Oh, I thought that was the point of making it look like that.
Well, it's like you say there's real, you say that Top Gun Maverick was real fighting scenes and real blowing up of jets, but that was all CGI. Same thing.
Okay. So
No.
this is, I guess it's not a remake of The Lion King.
It's not. It's a prequel.
Okay, so I've only seen The Lion King once. And when it came out, I was, early 20s? So it wasn't cool for me to watch these kids' movies at that time in my life. So Scar is the bad guy in The Lion King.
And Scar is Mufasa's brother. Scar is Mufasa's
right. And
brother.
Mufasa was voiced by James Earl Jones in the first Lion King.
That's correct.
And he's what's the Lion King's name? Simba?
Simba.
And so Mufasa is Simba's dad.
Correct.
And he dies in the movie?
Yes, Scar's his uncle then.
Right. And Scar wants to be the Lion King.
Scar takes over and tries to be the king.
Okay, so
of
this
the pride.
shows why they're rivals, why Scar is so angry?
Yes, and why Scar is called Scar and has his
That was
scar.
never revealed in the Lion King film.
No, 'twasn't.
Okay. 'Twasn't.
'Twasn't.
Anyway, top 3 Jim Carrey movies. Truman Show, no doubter for me. Number 2, this one maybe, I don't know who remembers this one. It's excellent. It's very quirky, but it's a really cool story. Another great performance, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you seen this one?
No.
This one is from 2004. Charlie Kaufman wrote it. He does a lot of weird stuff. So this is the premise is that you can have memories of an ex erased from your brain. That's sort of the premise. So it's a very sort of quirky love story. So Jim Carrey is in it. Kate Winslet is in it. And so she erases Jim Carrey's character from her mind. So but it's still sort of a love story. I guess it is a love story told in a very unique and different way. It's an outstanding movie. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I believe he was nominated. Was he nominated for Best Actor for this? But it's really, really good. I just feel like it kind of came out and people liked it and it lost some momentum. It's a great movie.
Reid, the more movie segments that you have, the more egregious it becomes that you don't have a letterboxed account for us to follow. We talked about letterboxed before, right?
But people would just be like, they'd get bored.
No.
You know
For
what
what?
I watched on, when did I watch it? Friday or Saturday this week? I watched The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Oh, cool.
I really enjoyed it.
That's like the new one.
Yes. Yeah. They're both very good. It's very sort of, like it's one of those movies it's always kind of winking at you, which I didn't mind. And I think maybe that's why it didn't do as well as they were hoping it would do. And it's sort of might be a little inside Hollywood because it was directed by a guy who was a stuntman and a stunt coordinator, but the same director as John Wick and Bullet Train. And it's fun and it's really good. And the stunts are really good. Like, it's sort of a love letter to great stunts in movies and a lot of practical stunts.
Do you want me to make you a Letterboxd account right now?
No, because then you'll know my password.
I don't care.
I care if you know my password.
What am I going to do?
You're going to go in and say, I've seen movies that I haven't seen.
Reid,
I rate them highly.
I could think of 1 million things I'd rather do than hack your Letterboxd account.
I'll make one.
It's free to join. Give the people what they want.
Okay.
Damn it.
You're doing... Well, I can
do it. But if...
No, go ahead and do it.
Okay, fine. I'm going to make your password for you.
And then my top 3 Jim Carrey movies. So I got Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So people are probably saying, "Oh, Reid, what about all those funny ones?" Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Just classic. I'm not as huge a fan of Ace Ventura as a lot of people. The Mask, very good. His performance was obviously his whole manic self. But I just think as a full-on comedy that's weird and showcases him, I'm going to go with Dumb and Dumber.
Me, Myself, and Irene's getting a lot of traction in the chat.
Fair enough. I believe Mex Bezzoso, before I even gave my list,
he said Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
He said the same 3 movies I did. Caster 1990 said 2 of the same 3. He said Dumb and Dumber, Truman Show, and Me, Myself, and Irene.
There you go. And no, nobody's gotten this clue yet, or the mystery.
Okay, we got to
athlete.
give the 5th clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. The 5th clue is Marty. Okay, the clues are Penguins, Montreal, football, 4, and Marty. It is not Marty Reisner that I just heard Marty Iwanek yell out from the bullpen. Somebody get it. Please. We got to get it by 5:30. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We'll take a timeout. Doug Plagens from the Panthers Radio Network coming up.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at WilliamHuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
It's a Stanley Cup final rematch, seeing Edmonton hosts the Florida Panthers with Tom Gazzola live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30, only on EST. Elsewhere, it's the Canucks battling the Avs and the Caps playing the Stars, having just 3 games in the NHL. And in the CFL, Javon Leake has re-upped with the Elks for next season after he recorded over 1,700 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns last season. In the NFL, the Lions will miss David Montgomery for the remainder of the season as he requires surgery to repair his sprained MCL. Tonight, It's the Vikings kicking off against the Bears and the Falcons with the Raiders, where you can swing by the Center Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the action alongside Lieutenant Eric. In basketball, the Raptors hit the court with the Bulls, having 6 games in the association. In just a moment, Doug Plagens joins the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Well, we do not yet have a winner in our Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Jay is keeping an eye on the text line, 780-218-9999. That's the only way you can guess and win. Maximum 3 guesses per number. And Jay says, you're not close. You're the collective you. You're not close.
Mm-mm. The Marty one really threw everybody for a loop.
And I want to give another clue, and Jay won't let me.
Go ahead.
Already?
But you...
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say...
Well, I don't know.
I
What
won't give the one that I was going to give, because you felt that was a giveaway. So the clues are Penguins, Montreal, football, 4, and Marty. I don't know what to say now. I'll say it's not a hockey player. And then after Doug, if no one has it, then I'll give the giveaway clue.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's not a hockey player.
Clue number 6, not a hockey player?
Clue number 6, not a hockey player. Penguins, Montreal, football, 4, Marty, not a hockey player. We'll leave it at that for the Hudson's Canada Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. All right, do we have our very special guest, Coop? Love talking to this guy. He's been coming on talk shows that I've hosted for several years. He's an absolute joy to deal with. I love the one time a year, though it was 4 times last year. I get to see him in person from the Panthers radio network, their play-by-play voice. He's at Rogers Place right now. It's Doug Plagens. Doug, how are you doing?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for checking. What time do you start on air? How close are we taking to it here?
We're actually fine. I keep having to remind myself that this is a 6:30 local time start. Don't usually have 6:30 starts. I'm on in an hour. I'm on in 1 hour from right now.
Okay. Well, we'll get you out. I think I told you it'd be around 10 minutes or so.
Will be over in less than an hour.
Yeah. Hopefully we're done by then, because we're done at 5:25. So I'm driving to the rink, and I'll see you again. We got a segment here. I'm going to include you in one of our live reads. And this is the non-hockey stuff that we touched on this morning. We got buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. DamonBunting.com, on Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate. You are from Detroit. You're a Detroit Lions fan. Are you buying or selling that they are the top Super Bowl contender still in the NFC?
As much as I love the Lions, and I know that this is uncharted territory, not only for me in my lifetime, but I think for most Lions fans to, at this point in the year, believe that strongly that this team is a contender. I do think with all the injuries they've had, they are a contender. But again, even though it's my favorite team, it's the team I've been rooting for my whole life, to say that they are the number one contender right now, I don't think I can say that with full confidence. I think they have a shot. This team has defied the odds. Just when you think they're down, they find ways to stay in games. They find ways to win. They've had comebacks, things like that. But in the shape they're in right now, and especially having seen that game yesterday, it's tough to say that they are the number one contender. They're in the tier of top contenders, but they are not the number one contender.
Now, nonetheless, as a Lions fan, and I was going to say long-suffering Lions fan, but that's every Lions fan, so I don't even know if we need to say that before Lions fan. I mean, and you'd seen playoff games, but you hadn't seen a home playoff game till last year. you hadn't seen a team with the swagger of this year's team and who they are under Dan Campbell. What's this like for you, though? Like seeing them as like a legitimate team, not maybe this plucky underdog. Like they're legitimately good, Doug.
It makes you think back to everything over the years. I mean, with Barry Sanders, for example, going all the way back to my childhood, there have been reasons to watch the Detroit Lions. They've had competitive teams. They've had playoff teams. But when you look at the eras when maybe they were at their best, the whole Barry Sanders prime, they were in the same division as Brett Favre's Packers, and they were in the same conference as the Niners and the Cowboys during that era. So it was going to be tough sledding no matter what. Same thing during the Stafford and Megatron years. There just always felt you were running into Aaron Rodgers. You were running into good teams elsewhere in the NFC. But right now, they are the top dog, and they also look like they can be for a number of years to come in that division. It's really cool to see. It's cool to see them in prime time as well. Even, talking to my dad, my parents don't live in the Detroit area anymore, but their games are on prime time. They used to get the obligatory prime time Thanksgiving game. That counted as their prime time game because they played on Thanksgiving, and that kind of checked the box, and they wouldn't get on Sunday night. They wouldn't get on Monday night. But now they're playing the primetime slots a lot, and they're an exciting team, and I haven't heard anybody complain that they've had a lot of primetime Lions games to watch.
No, because they're fun to watch. I want to get another memory from you. Ford Field is where they play now.
Mm-hmm.
Their old building, their old dome, the Pontiac Silverdome. Did you ever go?
I did go a couple of times as a youngster, and I remember the first game I went to there in '97, I saw it was one of Barry Sanders' games. He had a string of consecutive 100-yard games. They beat the Vikings, and it was one of his 100-yard games in that run of games. One of my favorite Thanksgivings ever, my dad woke me up with a couple of tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game, and he and I went. It was the last Thanksgiving Day game at the Pontiac Silverdome, and this name may only matter to Lions fans, but by golly, we saw Mike McMahon almost lead them to a win over Brett Favre and the Packers that day at the Silverdome, and it was exciting. It went right down to the wire, but unfortunately the Lions fell short. It was still a lot of fun. It was really cool at the Silverdome, a huge parking lot outside the place. I even went to a Vans Warped Tour in the parking lot of the Pontiac Silverdome, 2003. So it was like 40 minutes from where I grew up if there was no traffic. And it had a massive parking lot. It held 80,000 plus people. It was an awesome place and an awesome environment.
Okay, we do want to talk hockey with you. I'll let my colleague Jay jump in with the first.
Well, that's
Panthers
no
win.
fun. This is much more fun, and I love the drop of the Vans Warped Tour. That was classic. We must be similar in age because that was hot when I was coming up. I mean, the bands that were involved in that. If you look back, I mean, there's
It's a who's who.
What's that?
It's a who's who. I went to 34 Vans Warped Tour dates in my life.
No.
Yes, spent over a month of my life if you add it all up at the Vans Warped Tour.
Wow, hardcore. That is excellent. That is a number I'm sure is up there with Vans Warped Tour appearances across the globe. Look, Doug, this team has been scoring this year, and the team I'm referring to obviously is the one you cover in the Florida Panthers. There's seven different players on this roster with 7 or more goals. The team has scored 108 goals, yet they haven't scored in 146 minutes and 1 second. I was joking with Reid earlier. I wondered if when you crossed the border to get into Vancouver, if the CBSA took all your goal-scoring sticks or what's going on here, because this is going on a long time. Is this just bad luck or is something deeper here, Doug?
Well, oddly enough, last year around the same time, the Panthers went on a Western trip and had the same thing happen. Consecutive shutouts, and everything turned out just fine in the end. But I think it's just you chalk it up to over the course of a long season, sometimes you just hit lulls. I mean, on Saturday night, it was my first time seeing him in person, and it was his first time facing the Panthers, obviously. But Dustin Wolf was outstanding in that game on Saturday night for Calgary. And I know it was a small sample size. I watched one game, but the Flames might be onto something with that guy in net. So he was really good, made some big saves at key times. And I know the Panthers weren't overly thrilled with their game on Saturday night, but it wasn't for the lack of shot quantity, and that's something they've had these last few games too. You go back to Thursday night against Vancouver, and I know Paul Maurice said a few rush chances, which it's not characteristic of the Panthers to surrender rush chances, but they had a few rush chances against them. Pucks wound up in the net. And you go to Vancouver and get down within the first 3 minutes of a hockey game. Sometimes it can be tough to work your way back in a situation like that on the road. So I think the big thing is it's important, and this is what I've mentioned in my post-game shows these last couple, but it's the perfect time to remind everybody that you look at the big picture. If somebody said that, 31 games in right now, that the Panthers would be right there battling for the top spot in the Atlantic Division, I think everybody would have signed up for that right out of the gate. So you look at, as you mentioned, the string of games, the 6-0-1 run leading up to Thursday's loss in Vancouver. There was no shortage of pucks going in the net for the Panthers. So, at some point it'll kick back in. We've seen it happen before. The team's had a couple of lulls, but overall they've been winning much more than they've been losing this season.
All right, one more for you. I know we got to let you go. And you and I talked about this morning at the morning skates, so I want to get you to share this as well. I mean, champions, runners up the previous year, good franchise. They've kept everybody together. I mean, the changes are not marquee names over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think it was something, and I'd mentioned this a lot during the offseason. I think there was too much made of who moved on and who's no longer here, and not enough made of the continuity that this team brought into this season. And in a salary cap league with a team that has had sustained success going to the final back-to-back years now, you're going to have guys moving on. Guys are going to get opportunities elsewhere. That's just the nature of the business. But this Panthers team coming into this year, they returned their 8 leading point getters from last year. They returned 3 of their top 4 defensemen. Sergei Bobrovsky is still going to get the lion's share of the starts in net. Paul Maurice is still the head coach. Bill Zito is still the president of hockey operations and general manager. This team has a lot of familiar faces from last year. Obviously, guys move on, and that made some headlines. Brandon Montour, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Anthony Stolarz, those guys are having nice seasons. Other guys have moved on other places. But overall, they've supplemented the roster really nicely. And like I said, I think not enough was made of the continuity. I think it was an extraordinary amount of continuity compared to what you see, not just in hockey, but in all sports. Teams win, and teams win repeatedly, and teams have sustained success. Guys move on. Guys get opportunities elsewhere in salary cap leagues. But the Panthers have a roster that has a lot of the core's all intact. The core's intact long term, and a lot of familiar faces are still there.
This has been, in the regular season anyway, a great stop for the Panthers. Or at least they've got a point out of the game a lot of the time. And then obviously they had one good one and 2 rough ones in the Stanley Cup final. So we'll see what happens tonight with my change in stations and my new position, Doug. I'm going to hear your play-by-play tonight. You may want to look out your window there and see whose name bar is on the row right in front of you.
You're right down here?
Yes, I'm right in front of the visiting radio now.
I'll have to, maybe I'll throw M&Ms or whatever they've got over there at you.
Hey, always love having you on, man. We'll see you at the rink. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Doug Plagens, play-by-play voice on the Florida Panthers radio network. We've had him on twice. You've quickly come to appreciate why I think he's a great guy. And a great guest. Loves the Detroit Lions. Little confidence a bit shaken by the loss to the Bills, but we'll see.
That's a strong Buffalo Bills team.
We got to 130.
We did.
So we're gonna we'll do the word of the day after the break. Koob will probably do the sports update a bit earlier than usual because we got to be done to get the guys' stream going for the pregame show. I will tell people this first of all. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. So we do not have a winner yet in the mystery athlete of the game, presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub.
Let me, obviously, I was, focusing on that interview. No.
Okay. So I'll give a 7th clue. We have never had to. Oh, wait.
Can I just say some of the names that people are saying?
Sure.
Okay. Marty McSorley.
Incorrect.
No. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Good guess. Not correct.
Mark Tariff.
Mark Tardif, maybe?
Maybe it was misspelt. Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Manziel. Marty Schottenheimer.
No.
Martin Bedard. Marty the mascot of McGill.
No. Good guess.
Okay.
So here's the 7th clue, because the 5th clue was Marty, M-A-R-T-Y. Marty was his partner. The clues are Penguins, Montreal, football, 4, Marty, not a hockey player. Marty was his partner.
I'm watching
that
this.
should narrow it down. That should give it away. Marty was his partner. Here comes Zach Kubusch with a sports update. Thank you, Zach.
It's the Oilers and Panthers with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 5:30 right here on EST. And there's 2 other games around the league, seeing the Stars match up against the Caps and the Avs meeting the Canucks. In the CFL, Javon Leake has re-upped with the Edmonton Elks, while down south, David Montgomery of the Lions will miss the remainder of the season after requiring surgery to repair his sprained MCL. Monday Night Football action has the Falcons taking on Desmond Ridder and the Raiders, with the Vikings battling the Bears, having Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for the action. On the court, the Raps face the Bulls with 6 games around the association. Reid and Jay wrap up the show before the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
All right, this is pretty cool. Just a side note here. Terry Fox will now be on Canada's $5 bill. Sir Wilfrid Laurier, the former prime minister who had been on the $5 bill or banknote, will be on the $50 bill. Terry Fox on the 5. That's awesome. He should be everywhere as far as I'm concerned.
It's about damn time.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we have a winner for the $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub for our mystery athlete of the game. The clues were Montreal. Oh, pardon me. Well, I will have to give the name before I explain the clues. But we gave 7 clues today instead of the usual 5. Who was the mystery player, Jay Milne?
It was beat out by a minute on Mike the Michigan fan. Mike came in at 5:16, but sorry, Mex Bezozu. It was the winner today.
Big day for Mex.
Big day.
Who was the mystery player? Mystery athlete.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels of WWE fame. Here's how the clues worked. Penguins was the first clue. So, Shawn Michaels was the Heartbreak Kid in wrestling, or the HBK. The Penguins had an HBK line in 15-16 of Hagelin, Bonino, and Kessel, and Shawn Michaels went and watched them play. Montreal, the Montreal Screwjob with Bret Hart. Football, in high school in San Antonio, Shawn Michaels, or Michael Sean Hickenbottom, Hickenbottom, as Bottom as he was born, was a linebacker and captain of the football team. He was a 4-time world champ. Marty was the final clue. Marty Jannetty was his tag team partner with the Rockers back in the WWF, and then we said not a hockey player, and Marty was his partner. I am satisfied.
Marty Jannetty.
I took it to 7.
What a day,
None of this
Reid.
people getting it on the first or second guess.
What a day. And you know what? The pleasure delayers are coming out. I don't know if we're going to get to 2 words of the day. We only got 5 minutes. But I do have 1 word of the day for getting to 1:30.
Yes, we're almost at 1:40.
And we are going to go to venerate.
All right, venerate is spelled Venerate.
Correct.
Venerate. I don't know what that means. I will say to honor and or admire.
That's very close. That's very, very close. To venerate someone or something is to feel or show deep respect for them because they are considered great or holy, etc. You know, greatness, airness, royalty, holiness.
Interesting.
To venerate someone or something is to feel or show deep respect for them because they're considered great, holy, etc. Her best-selling trilogy led to her becoming a writer venerated by generations of admirers.
Oh, neat.
There you go. It's just that easy.
Now, how are you? Well, maybe I shouldn't ask.
You shouldn't ask.
Okay.
Nobody needs to know. No, just kidding.
I won't.
There's a name I haven't seen for a while. Dolphinia said Ed Grimley, played by Martin Short, his partner. SCTV.
No, that was his guess for mystery athlete of the game.
And we did get a lot of SCTV, you know, or Doc Brown.
Right.
Marty and Doc, right? That was his partner.
Oh, that was his part. Well, but see, even though this was not a athlete in a competitive sport. This was an athlete in an entertainment sport. And we did have a fictional athlete when I had Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire. But we've never gone where, we're fooling you, it's actually Steve Martin or Martin Short or something like that. It's always been someone who is an athlete. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes it's tied into that night's Oilers games. Sometimes it is not. This one was not, I don't think. Is there a tie-in to Shawn Michaels in a game between the Oilers and the Panthers?
No.
I guess there's heels. The Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk would be a wrestling heel. But that's a bit of a
Maybe
stretch.
that's what it is. Man, we are 5 away from getting a bonus.
We have a bonus word of the day at 150.
Bonus word of the day at
We got to do it in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, if you have not yet, do so. Now we're 4 away.
The Panthers and Oilers are going to play at 6:30. We will have the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 5:30. So we're going to bounce out of here at about 5:25. I'll be heading down to the rink. Wanik, are you coming? No, I'm sitting here. I know you're sitting here now. Are you coming to the game? He's
very
argumentative.
persnickety
I said,
today.
"Are you coming to the game?" "No, I'm sitting here." Like, that's not even an answer.
And he's just got the biggest grin on
That'd be
his
like,
face.
"Hey, what are you doing Friday?" "Well, I'm sitting here right now." "Yes, Matthew, I can see that."
Oh,
I
we're
was
one
asking
away,
about
Reid.
Friday.
We're one away.
We're one thumb up away from
Did you give a thumb
bonus
up yet?
word of the, yes, I gave mine right at the start of the show.
Coob, did
Does
you
mine
give a
count?
thumb up? No. What?
We're at 150. Go, second word. We got a minute 40 to do it.
Okay.
I got to try to spell it first.
Tonsorial.
Oh, my God. Tonsorial. Tonsorial.
Bang.
Of or relating to the tonsils.
Well, no.
Okay.
A tonsorial is a fancy word, well, no doubt, that describes the work of those who give shaves and haircuts.
What?
It can apply more broadly to hairdressers as well. It derives from the Latin verb tondere, meaning to shear, clip, or crop. Yeah.
Okay. I'd never heard of that.
Why are barbers called tonsorial?
I never called them that.
Now
Okay.
you can.
We got to go. We got to go. Great work by Zachary Kubusch reading the sports updates today. On behalf of Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Oil Stream pregame show is next. Enjoy the Oilers and the Panthers at 6:30.